On this episode of Another Act, I sit down with Quvenzhané Wallis and we discuss her big Oscar moment, the slowdown that happened immediately after that, what kept her going, and why she absolutely jumped at the chance to play a female basketball star in Apple TV's Swagger. Quvenzhané, great to see you again today. I know we talked with everyone else for the urban world, so it's nice to talk to you here again today. I want to start here. The last time we had a conversation, you said something that surprised me, which is you come off of this major moment in Hollywood. You're the youngest actor to be nominated for an Academy Award, which is what everyone essentially is aspiring towards. And instead of your phone ringing off the hook, you had quite another reception. Tell me a little bit about what that journey has been like for you in Hollywood.
Well, kind of after Annie, I guess you could say, it wasn't like a complete just like drop. It kind of was like gradually. But at the same time, my family, and especially like my mom and stuff, like my parents, we weren't upset at it because I had the opportunity to be normal, So I had the opportunity to go to school and actually be in school and not trying to travel and be in school. And then I also got to do sports and stuff like that I love. So it wasn't like 100% negative, but it wasn't 100% positive either. Because I was auditioning and a lot of people, I was growing up, like I was in puberty, like everything was changing, and I got taller and I started growing up and all this stuff. And I'm only like, 12 years old, but people are asking me to audition for someone older, or, it's just already hard being a young Black girl in general, trying to get roles as well. So it was a period when I was just growing up and just, enjoying life. I was still auditioning. I didn't stop auditioning, but it was just harder to find roles in that time. But then I landed Blackish and I did those like 5 episodes. And then after that, I was like, oh man, I'm back at it. And then I didn't really do much after that. I had books and stuff going on. And then I talked to Reggie, and I've been working with Reggie ever since, just training and stuff like that. And now Swagger is here. And it's been a crazy roller coaster for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how does Swagger kind of perfectly align with where you are right now, especially, with that kind of zigzaggy journey, I think, that you've had, in Hollywood so far? How did that work out?
I've talked about it before, but like the whole maze concept of Swagger was something that really resonated with me because I was going through that kind of period where everything felt like super confusing and, I didn't know where to go. Because I love acting, that's what I love to do, but hearing no's or just like, getting discouraged and feeling kind of normal, like I was doing all these normal things and I started to kind of forget, but it would definitely have to be that maze kind of coming in at the right time, and talking to Reggie about that and talking about Crystal it was like perfect. It was like, as soon as he started talking to me about it and how passionate he was, it was like automatically I knew it was meant for me to do. And I knew I was just as passionate just after like that small phone call.
Yeah. And I would imagine because you did have an opportunity to be a normal kid, you're able to rely on some of that as you're starting to build Crystal. Tell me a little bit about that.
Just being normal is like normal. You go to school, you do what you love to do, what your passion is, and Crystal's passion is basketball, and mine when I was normal was volleyball. So I definitely understood the student athlete aspect of it all. And then you have friendships and stuff, and like, it's a whole world. It may be normal to others, but there's so much that goes on, and she, in like the first couple of episodes of Swagger, you learn what's going on in her story and how she's trying to move past that and move forward. And I definitely think that's something that I had to learn how to do, especially during that time, not being able to act, doing what I love to do, but also having that student athlete life and trying to push forward with that and stay normal and stay doing what I love, even though, you know, it was very discouraging to hear a lot of no's.
You know, what was the thing that kept you in the game, so to speak, when things were quieter in this town for you? What was the thing that kept you, you know, consistent and not feeling maybe as discouraged as, you know, let's be honest, so many other actors have, I'm sure, had that moment before when things dry up or when things go away. It's hard to stay positive, I think, and to stay focused and disciplined, knowing that one day you're going to be back, you know, in that game. What was that for you?
My mom. It would have to be my mom. She was, my mom's my everything. She's my number one supporter. I don't know what I would do without her, really. I probably wouldn't be here. But you know, I struggled a lot with it. Like, you know, it's something I love to do, and that's when you really need your parents' love to tell you it's okay, you know. Everybody else would tell me it's okay, like, girl, you're just tripping. But when my mom sit down and tell me, like, we're gonna keep pushing, you know, all that stuff, it's like, okay, mom, we got this, you know. So she's definitely my rock, and I give a lot of my credit and a lot of the things I've done in my life in this career and just writing books and stuff. You know, she puts a lot of fire into me, and she doesn't let me, you know, give up. She pushes me until I can't do it. And that never happens. So she just keeps pushing me.
And that never happens. I love that you said that, because that's very true. You know, obviously with your story, you kept pushing and it got you here to this space and in this TV series that everybody has been waiting, you know, for so long. And obviously it's here now and people are loving it. It has to feel pretty good.
Excited. I love it. Like every time an episode comes out. So I gotta tell you something. My brother's probably gonna be mad at me for this, but this is a little tidbit. The first couple of episodes, Crystal's storyline gets kind of deep. My brother calls me and he's like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me this was happening? How dare you? He was mad. I was like, I can't tell you because then it won't be a surprise. It'll be a spoiler. Like, I can't tell you. He was like, you should have told me. I almost broke my TV. And I'm like, what? How was I supposed to know? Like, my brother, he loves it so much, but he hates it all at the same time because he wished I would have told him about my storyline. But I'm like, no, you got to go along with it like everybody else watching.
No way I'm not going to make it. I dropped in the rankings from 1 to 4.
So clap back on the court. You got to reclaim that crown.
Heart of a lion, fire inside me blaze like a siren.
Carry it with you to practice.
Wake up the beast.
Your next game.
I put my time in.
Win or lose, you walk on that court with swagger. You walk off with swagger.
Get loud for me. It's in the crowd, we tearing it down. Get loud for me.
Crystal she's such a layered character. I mean, she's an athlete. She has this, you know, best friend relationship with Jace. Where did you start to build Crystal from? Especially, you know, when you think about women in your life, obviously your mother's had a strong presence in your life, but like, were there any real life athletes that you were thinking about as you were trying to channel Crystal and decide who she was going to be in this series?
I have a lot of family friends, and I know these two female ballers. And they both kind of have not a storyline similar to Crystal, but like the whole you can't ball, you're a girl kind of thing. And one of my family friends, we were like sisters, you know, we were always around each other. So now she's playing and all this stuff. And it's just like when I saw Crystal, my mom was like, girl, you know who this is like? I'm like, what, Mom? And she's like, this is like Randy, my family friend. And I'm like, oh, Ma, you are right. And so I took her swag. I took my other family friend as well. And I just kind of like started mixing. I took my brother because he's playing overseas. I took his swag. Took my other brother who played basketball all the way up until high school, took his swag. And like, I just made this like female powerhouse baller that no one could stop. And it was someone completely different from me. And when I would train, like my trainer, Reggie Wallis, he would always call me Crystal. Like when I stepped into the gym, when I was on set, it was Crystal. It was like until I stepped off the cart, that was me. But it was completely different. So I definitely took a lot of time in building her swag, but I also took a lot of time researching her storyline because I didn't want to have that weight. I wouldn't say weight, but have that storyline and not make it feel real, especially to those who have been through something like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely did a lot of research, and I had Reggie Bythewood helping me. There was a acting coach, Michelle, there on set, and some of the writers and stuff that wrote and took a lot of time into Crystal's storyline. And they helped me. They made like little packets for Crystal and research and female ballers that were in the WNBA and like all this research and everything you can imagine.
Now, people are well aware that are watching the series that this is inspired by Kevin Durant and, his childhood in the DMV. Did you have any conversation with him? Did he help out with the swagger at all? Or what, did he have a presence on set when you guys were filming?
We talked. We had this Zoom call with everybody on it, and he got on. I'm really shy. You can't tell this, like, in interviews, but I am extremely shy. And he came on the Zoom call and I immediately went on mute. Like, I was just like, yeah, this is too much for me. And everybody was like asking questions and stuff. And I was sitting there like, I was with my brother and stuff. I'm like, come on, can you talk here? Like, I'm just freaking out and stuff. But he definitely had some comments and stuff about everybody's storyline and, what he sees for the show. But I was too starstruck.
I would say, listen, he might have been starstruck looking at you on that Zoom call too, because again, you're the youngest actor in history to ever be nominated for an Academy Award. So I'm just saying, light flex, let's recognize that. I love that this has been such a great experience for you, all things considered. How does this change things for you moving forward as you look to do more, with your career?
It changes a lot, just mentally as well and emotionally, it changes a lot. But, working and stuff, it's definitely going to change a lot. Like interviews and stuff, I wasn't doing that before. But it's definitely going to open a lot of doors for things that I love, like fashion and music and all this stuff that I could possibly, like dip my toe in. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens next. I couldn't even tell you what I want to do next. Me and my mom, we just look at each other and be like, "That's what we doing? Okay, that's what we doing," and we just move forward from there. But right now, I guess I'm playing volleyball. I made this team back home, so I'm gonna stay fit and ready, and stay active, and hopefully do something. You're gonna see me do something. I don't know what yet.
That is for sure. Well, look, it was really great talking with you again today. Thank you so much for making time for me today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Nice
Thank
talking to you.
Nice talking to you too.